to have everything that this has to be correct. Obviously, the main discussion, then it's just leading always encouraging. With that, I'm going to put over to the right side. Immediately following Dr. Mark. Here in the world, I know. Well, everybody out there watching on the live stream as well this afternoon. We have a fair bit of information today, not a longer report, certainly some pretty interesting and important information. There, as usual, I'm going to start things off with the survey work that we did, primarily focusing on cotton and Florida citrus today. First off, from the field survey side of things, projected yield only for cotton, of course, this month. Our other crops were finished until annual next month. You can see 840 samples for cotton here. And of course, this time of the year, we're really just getting of the crop. Florida citrus, though, you can see our objective measurement, of course, the size of the crop work. 1,856 growths is November 4th through 23rd. And of course, as a reminder, I'm sure you do remember this. This is really our first look at the crop down since the hurricane. We saw earlier in the season. So with that, and then last but not least for cotton, the differences. So that's pretty valuable information. Crop size there. You can see 531 active gems across the country, November 30th. Of course, what we're asking them to report is the number of males and gems today plus what they expect to be at the end of the remainder. One quick great. Next, we'll take a look at how the current forecast compares with the published expectations. Quick reminder, each of those key amounts represents an individual industry member's published expectations for red block is the next forecast. And you can see the trend could continue this year with the forecast a little bit higher than what folks were expecting this year across the last several months, as it really does to fairly large fall season. Next, we'll take a look at sugarcane. See here, a minor adjustment made to the harvested area up to 2% from our previous forecast yield. Actually adjusted down just slightly from the previous forecast. Overall, we're looking at just over 34 million. Excuse me. Tons there is down to 0.7% from what we previously forecast. It is still up 3.7% from what we experienced last season. We point out that Louisiana will be the second highest production farmer in Louisiana this season. As I mentioned at the beginning, we do have an updated forecast in the report today as well. You can see we're now forecasting 208 million pounds. That is down 3.6% from the forecast back in October. But it is still up 9.7% from what was produced last season. The decline from October driven primarily by Georgia, which of course is our largest producing state, meets the weather down there. Still a good crop, but not as big as what we previously anticipated. Next, we'll move into the citrus. Because in December, we do have only Florida reporting this month. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, the pretty important information here that it really is our first opportunity to measure what has happened with the crop since the two hurricane events earlier this fall. And so, as you can see, naturally, we're now forecasting 2.83 million tons of all oranges. That is down 11.3% from the previous forecast, 18.4% below last season. In Florida, we're looking at a reduction of 8 million boxes from the October forecast. As you might expect, that's due primarily to some increased crop compared to what we anticipated. If we can break that down by the non-Valencias and Valencias, specifically in Florida, that's a 4 million box reduction for the Florida non-Valencia crop compared to October. For the Florida Valencia crop, that's down also 4 million boxes from October. So big changes there. If we look at the overall Florida orange production, that would represent the smallest crops this season, 738. Next, taking a look at the grapefruit, 321,000 tons. That's down 2.4% from October, 14.2% below last season. And look at the Florida forecast to be fourth lowest production on record there, and in fact the lowest. 11th, of course, are carried forward from the previous month. No change there. And tangerine production is 29,000 tons. That's down to 0.5% from the previous forecast. Of course, California is a producer. They're just carried forward from last month. Florida with the tangerine looking at the third one. Next, to just have a quick look at some of the upcoming reports over the next month or so. You can see the spring's really full because we've got a lot of reports happening now and then. Next week, see the organics report coming out of the Walter County estimates, competition for the 22nd, back here on the 23rd, and these releases, ag prices will be every month, of course, the monthly care reports at the beginning of January. The return of the cost of pollination, I announced that a few weeks ago that was coming back to January 11th. That'll be released, of course, January 12th. Crop perspective, a very big day. The crop production, grain stocks, and all the other reports that go along with that. Just a couple of quick reminders, folks, before I turn it up. On February 23rd and 24th, just log out their report at the USDA Ag Outlook Forum. The hybrid event this year. So lots of opportunities for folks to participate either in person or online. And of course, we want to talk this afternoon in just a few moments. We'll be out on Twitter That's the last slide I have for you. Do I have to do this? All right, good afternoon. I will WASDE change this one. As you know, I mean, typically December, relatively light in terms of new information for the domestic balance. We have a lot of pretty important changes on the international side, and some in the U.S. as well, including cotton, U.S. production up, world consumption down by quite a bit. But our Argentina wheat production again this month, pretty sharply based on drought. The Ukraine corn production. All like month. So starting out with wheat, world wheat production. So production down this month, as you can see, just over 2.1 million tons, led by Argentina. We have Argentina's production by 3 million tons this month, again based on the drought. Canada, cut Canada by 1.2 million tons. This is based on the stat and data that came out. I'll give you a little bit more information about that on the next slides. And Australia up, raised Australia, and again, this is part we talked about last month. Really good conditions, lots of rain. Expected to be a big crop, probably a lot of people. Argentina, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this. We also talked about this in detail last month, but you might recall, this time in November we had mentioned that conditions look pretty bad, but if they improve, if things turn around, weather cooperated, there was still a chance for some improvement. Clearly, the improvement did not happen. The drought intensified, and we're starting to see harvest results now. And based on what we had new information up this month, clearly that problems a lot smaller than anticipated, but 3 million tons. Historically, pretty large cut. Well below trend. Production output. Real quick on Canada, just to give you some perspective on why Canada was reduced this month. And you recall last year, devastating drought. This year, all the reports seem to, drought growing season seemed to suggest a strong rebound, and indeed there was a strong rebound. But you'll note the kind of a small area in southwest Saskatchewan, Durham area, where it still was quite dry during the year, and the final production estimates, yield estimates from StatCan showed a reduction really essentially in that area, focused mainly on Durham. So Canada production, final production numbers there, not worse, but still no, worth noting that the strongest rebound last year. Terribly, so there's where we are in Canada. Global balance sheet. We talked about supply down this month. So let's next focus on trade. Trade is just higher this month, 2.2 million tons. That's led by increased exports out of Australia, Ukraine, the EU, and also raised in Russia by 1 million tons. And offsetting that, of course, is a pretty sharp reduction in export by Argentina, reduced 2.5. Where we are right now in terms of the Ukraine exports, we raised those 1.5 tons. We're at about 0.5 billion. Feed use down, and that's reflecting lower feed use in the EU, lower feed use in residual of Ukraine, and also U.S. balance sheet. As I noted, most commodity balance sheets changed little this month, and also basically
One change here, doesn't show up, but some offsetting things to the export. And it's raised to HRS every spring. Exports in point, wheat exports offset by reduced export forecast. And lower season average price 9 and maybe not just Friday or prices for the top. Price, world grain production down a bit. As you can see, 400,000 tons this month. Australia lowered based on year's data, and again, you know, it's been very wet, especially in that eastern part of the continent, and really too wet for plants. That's been an area reduction. Brazil reduction there based on data. And then one region that doesn't show up, but a pretty important reduction here that contributes to the overall foreign decline is the youth. Data lowered again, mainly in Spain. And we talked about that over the summer, drought conditions there, and that would be their lowest output since global balance sheet for rice. Fairly small changes here. Beginning stocks a little bit higher than we had expected last month, based on lower beginning stocks. Total use down nearly 1 million pounds, mainly driven by highland. Trade up 900,000, and that is mainly higher exports from India. And these stocks tightening up a bit there, and those would be the lowest in 17, 18. U.S. balance sheet. Again, no production changes, but full export forecast back again this month. That 2 million underweight production is all long grain and just really slow sales dollar long grain market speed in Mexico. That would be the lowest long grain exports since 1978. And the lowest global export price exports since 91. Lower season average price there by 20 cents per hundredweight. As you can see, that's mainly based on re-weightings of class prices in the much smaller production. So the actual line class prices. Moving into corn, world supplies tightening up 6.5 million tons this month. Led almost entirely by higher supplies out of the Black Sea region. Ukraine, which and also Russia, and EU down as well based on harvest results. But let's focus for a minute on Ukraine. So, map showing main production region, corn production regions within Ukraine. Just worth reminding everyone, there's a war going on affecting many of the areas where corn is produced. So that in and of itself, raises some risk of production. But what's really driving the forecast this month, the reduction this month, is it has just been incredibly wet, especially this fall. Wettest autumn on record over the past 30 years. And unfortunately, that's rain for the year to try to just put up, but most or a big proportion of that rain came right during harvest. The unrelenting wet weather in September, and then it intensified again in November. Result being that harvest pace has just been incredibly slow. We're approaching the end of the year and we have about 6% crop harvesting. So much of that crop is going to remain in the field in the spring, most likely. Because of the wet conditions, maybe it's better in the field anyway, but if it could come out, but given the unrelenting rain and difficult field conditions, much of that is going to stay out there, and that is behind, largely behind, in addition to wartime conditions, those terrible weather conditions and harvest are contributing to a pretty sharp cut in Ukraine's corn production outlook this month. The currently estimated 27 million tons, down 14% this month. Global corn balance sheet. So talk about supply again. That's driven mainly by price supply of flex. And we focus on Ukraine, but of course, a lot of those conditions extend over into Russia as well. So here's one there. Well, let's see what else we have. Trade down a bit this month. Ukraine exports actually up based on the base we've been observing. So we raised them 2 million tons to 17.5 million. Offset by lower exports from the U.S. 2 million. Lower exports out of Russia and lower from the EU as well. Feed use down, that's mainly with the importing countries, including Canada, Iran, South Korea, and many others. And the poultry of more users there, importing less, using less, and the stocks. It's mainly lower stocks in Ukraine and Paraguay, offset some degree of higher stocks in the U.S. So the U.S. balance sheet, again, only notable change this month on our export forecast. The slow pace, slow sales and shipments. The export forecast yet directly into higher end stocks. Prices down, lower 10 cents a bushel again, based on the observed prices. Also worth noting, they don't have a slide up for this, but I'll just note we also have our sorghum export. China demand isn't there. Very slow. So we're lower at 20 million bushels. That's what moving to soybeans. Global production, not a lot happening here, just increased in India this month, based on data from India. Data-driven change, and similarly, not a lot to talk about on the balance sheet this month either. Back here, made some changes, screwing up some final trade data and other numbers. One thing worth noting there is we reduced our Brazil, back here Brazil exports, revised those lower. And but when it's all added up, it's a little bit higher ending stocks for last year, meaning 900,000 tons higher beginning stocks in this calendar year, which for the most part, again, no change in the crop, minor changes in other use categories, mainly goes into higher stocks. So small changes in the crop in terms of global balance sheet, and even smaller changes on the U.S. balance sheet. Nothing else in higher use categories for price. Let's quickly talk about soybean oil. Some pretty important changes here. So driven at the kind of the top level by reduction in biofuel. Soybean oil used for biofuel, and that was driven by the EPA rule. So with the reduction in use for biofuel, that is expected to lower market price. We've seen that happening. With the lower price, that in turn reduces demand for imports. We're lowering our import forecast to 200 million pounds, and in the export forecast we lowered based, based mainly on the fact that there's been a relative lack of sales so far. So, given the past higher prices, exports haven't been much of an export base. But given that, we reduced the export forecast, and that's where we are. When it's all added up, again, the small change in the stocks, but that change in biofuel use going to take a small diversion since we're talking about soybean oil and give you a little bit of a perspective on Indonesian palm oil. In some ways, in your awareness, the export restrictions they imposed back in April. And in a way, it kind of says a lot of sort of a textbook example of unintended consequences. And basically, what happened here, as you know, the export restrictions lasted only 3 weeks. And basically, the problem is that once they cut off part of their main market, that exports, processors didn't have anywhere to store the oil, so they couldn't accept new palm, they accept the harvested palm for processing. And the critical thing, the interesting thing here, particularly interesting thing is that palm fruit has to be processed very quickly. Basically within 24 hours, preferably within 12 hours. So when you have a situation like that, we almost guarantee a lot of those palm fruits on those trucks probably weren't getting processed within 12 or 24 hours. Long story short, given that kind of the backup in the market, in the export restrictions, oil yields fell, production farm was wasted. There was a lot of waste around and whatnot. So at the end of the day, Indonesia palm oil forecast for 21-22, so that's back here. We lowered 5%. And then we carried a yield reduction for into the new year as well. Again, really all reflecting this policy that began taking upon more policy. So next, moving into document, and here's the areas where we did get some mess morning. In global cotton production down in terms of U.S. up. Australia production down. That is acre production based on the factors very wet, especially in the eastern part of the continent where most of the cotton is planted. So that's back their ability to plant. Turkey production up a bit. That's based mainly on most of the American fields. And Pakistan production down. Again, this is a country we talked about the past several months. We have another month of arrivals data, and that situation there is just turning out to be about as bad as anyone had predicted. There was some hope for Iran that wouldn't turn out as bad, but just seems on the extensive flooding there. It has caused serious damage. We're cutting that production. Yeah. African Frank zone, we talked a little bit again this month. We made a bigger cut last month. Again, that's based on it's been wet there and there's been no wet. Formal balance sheet for cotton. And the thing here that really stands out and is worth noting is a pretty large cut for global cotton consumption month. Soft mill and globally. You see that among really all of the users. China, India, Vietnam, less well. Reduced trade by 1 million tons. China and increasing global ending stocks by 2.2 million bales. So the U.S. balance sheet, incorporating the higher supplies that we got from that this morning, that raises U.S. supply to the same time that we have still use based on IMS data. They also reduced our export forecast, which again, as you know, especially over the last month or so, sales have been very slow. And that's also consistent with the reduction in global consumption that we made the global balance sheet. And anything stops up by half a million bales. There you go. We did not change our average market price, and I will just say the prices were there, as you know, and all over the place. So we're going to say for now. Sugar. Pretty small change on the sugar balance sheets this month. Back here, that 2,000 short ton increase in gain, that's just based on FSA market data. Focused mainly in Louisiana. No change to the factor. No change in crop year. Beef production down again. That's also based on processed data. Reductions in beets available for slicing. Cane production up a bit, and that is based mainly on a higher recovery, higher sugar recovery from the cane harvest, and also some shifts in acreage out of seed into production, all adding up to a small increase in sugar production from cane. Ending stock small change, as you know, December is a month where we target that 13.5% stock use ratio. But we got there last month, so that's why we're fairly small changes this month. But given the small reduction in production this month overall, that increases next month. So into Mexico real quick. No change in Mexico production forecast this month. And as usual, ending stocks for Mexico are forecast based on that use data, so the exports that the residual. So we raised, so basically raised those exports to match West needs. That's what we have to balance sheet. And we accounted for that by reducing items. That's where those are over. And those exports at 1.66 million metric tons, essentially all of that would be coming from the West. Moving into livestock, pretty small changes on the livestock side as well this month. 2022 beef production forecast raised just a bit based on fire base. Pork lowered a bit based on fire weights, so also just updating data. It didn't make any for the out year for those species. Broilers are just again pace, but heavier weights there on the broilers, and then there's that a little bit higher in 2023 as well. That's really late in the year. That can happen fourth quarter in particular. Turkey production of just a hair in 2022 based on these. But 2023 forecast dropped a little bit. You see, that's for like recent AI cases, so that's lower reduction, especially early, but lower production, especially early in the year. HPAI cases. Prices, no change for steers and hogs. We nailed it right on the last month, so nothing to this month. And then poultry, reduced poultry, turkey price forecast for 2022 it's just a bit, just basically turkey prices peaked a little bit more than expected. Bring up to that more recent data. Trade here too, again, really not a lot to report, just some 2022 changes, minor changes based on updated trade data. Beef, we're seeing the spring fair, mainly the east markets, and the rest is just the various markets touring up data. No real big story there. Let's then move into dairy. Wrap things up. 2022 dairy milk production. It adds up to essentially no change. Higher pound numbers offset by a little bit more milk per cow. 2023 raised, and that is based on the combination of higher pound numbers and higher milk per cow. Imports, fat basis imports, that is raised a bit for 2022 based on mainly butter and also the cheese as well. Exports also raised based on all butter as well, and also butter containing products. That's for 2022. Small changes carrying forward into 2023 as well, and skim solids basis import increase for 2022 is mainly cheese, and then the reduction that we are showing there for 2023 skim solids exports is primarily lactose. So just to wrap things up here with dairy prices. Small increase in the cheese and butter prices for 2022 based on strong demand. And again, non-fat dry and dry whey for 2023 prices seeing some pressure from the international markets there. For reductions out here. And then the class prices for 2022, class 3 price increase based on those stronger cheese prices. Class 4 price increase based on strong butter prices. Class 4 price for 2023 reduced based on the food and on strong milk prices. And when you have it all together for the all milk price raised 2022 all milk price 15 cents, 2023 all milk price 10 cents. And that's where we wrap things up in the area, and then also for the economic form for milk. That's all I got. Thank you all for attending, and for those online, see you back next month.
Hold tight, he's ending it from outside.